Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mikey back here, and today we'll be going over our recap and my thoughts on the Hawks versus Nets game on Friday, December 11th, last night. The Hawks lose to the Nets 105 to 113. Durant, and the Nets really closed this out in the fourth quarter. It was a good game overall, but Hawks just couldn't get it done when it mattered most in clutch time late in the fourth quarter. I was at the game. The game was really fun to go to. The energy in the building in State Farm Arena was great. It really felt like playoff atmosphere, and especially in the fourth quarter when the Hawks started to make a run a little bit over. Eventually, it was too much, but the energy in the building was great. Actually, I was able to get a picture with Hawks legend Kyle Korver. He's the Nets shooting coach. And another cool thing that happened to me at the game was the ball went out of bounds like 3 or 4 rows deep. I was actually able to get a hand on the ball and try and throw it back to the ref, so that was pretty cool. But so yeah, other than that, let's get into the actual game. Overall, I thought the Hawks played an all right game. We played pretty well for about 44 and a half-ish minutes. But down the stretch, our offense really tinkered, and we weren't able to do much. Trae Young has to do everything for us right now. No secondary sure ball handler with Bogey out, and Kevin Huerter wasn't in the closing lineup. We had Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot in the closing lineup, which I will get to him later because oh boy, he put up a stinker. Probably his worst game of the career, and TLC. Sorry, that was the worst performance I have ever seen anybody put on in an NBA game in the history of me watching the NBA, and I've been watching the NBA for a long time. So that was very interesting to see, to say the least. But Kevin Durant, best player in the world, did his thing. James Harden didn't really play that well. He did hurt us a bit, but I think the main two people, the unsung heroes for the last night, Nicholas Claxton really energized them in the second half, got some good blocks and some great putback dunks that energized their bench and gave them some momentum. And then also Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown definitely hurt us, acting as your center with those short hook shots, and he also out rebounded us a lot and put up some putback dunks as well. So those two guys really put in energy, and Cam Thomas as well. Cam Thomas was great for the Nets. So without further ado, let's go on to the stats. And we'll start with the visiting team. We'll start with the Nets. Kevin Durant, best player in the world, 31 points, 3 blocks, 1 steal, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 turnovers. So Kevin Durant, got to keep that a bit. But what can you say much more? KD shot over 50% from the field, 12 for 22, and 1 for 4 from 3. And that was actually a 4-point play that he made. So the toughest shot he had of the night was the 4-point play, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's what we're going to get. And he really closed us out down the stretch. We weren't able to guard him. And the veteran leadership of the Nets with Harden, Durant, Patty Mills, James Johnson, those guys definitely held the fort down for them in the fourth quarter and enabled them to get the win. Bembry started against his former team, the Hawks. He guarded Trae Young for the most part. Didn't really do too much. Had 2 points, an assist, and 2 rebounds. So Bembry was all right. He didn't give them much, but he was playing great defense out there. He always does. Always brings good defense. LaMarcus Aldridge really hurt us in the mid-range game. He had 15 points and 3 blocks as well from Aldridge, which is great for the Nets. We got to definitely do a better job of making sure that a non-shot blocker threat normally like Aldridge doesn't hurt us like that. He also had 3 steals as well, which 6 stocks combined for Aldridge. That's crazy. He added 3 rebounds, and he shot 7 of 10 from the field. Now lethal mid-range shooter, and that's what he's been doing for his whole career. Glad to see him back hooping after that scary early retirement last year, but it's great to see him hooping and playing well. Patty Mills played 32 minutes, had 11 points. He had a block and a steal. So these guys, Aldridge, Mills, getting blocks and steals, Hawks definitely have to cut that down. He didn't really do too much else. So probably an off game from Patty Mills, 4 for 11 shooting. So not the best game from Mills. Now Harden. Harden actually played more minutes than KD. KD played 38 minutes. Harden played 40. Harden really didn't do that much. He still had a great counting stats overall. 8 for 17 from the field. So that's fairly good with 11 assists, 5 rebounds, and 20 points. But the real killer here for Harden, 6 turnovers. And when we get to Trae for the Hawks, you'll see turnovers were a really big issue for both James Harden and Trae Young in this game. Cam Thomas, like I said, played a key role off the bench for them again. 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3. And he added 11 points and 6 rebounds, so good minutes from him. Bruce Brown with 20 minutes. He was 6 for 9 from the field, had 15 points, 5 rebounds. And Paul Millsap, didn't do much. Obviously, a Hawks legend, great Hawk when he was here. He was an all-star with us, and it's good to see him. Good to see him still playing out there. James Johnson, 20 minutes, and James Johnson's a very good player, very underrated. He can do a bit of everything. He can shoot a bit. He can finish. He can handle the ball. He can play make. There's really nothing James Johnson can't do, but he doesn't do a lot of things at enough an above average level to get starter minutes anymore in his career. But James Johnson's definitely a serviceable NBA player for sure. He added 4 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, and 8 rebounds, which that's what James Johnson's been known for his whole career. All-around player is going to fill up the stat sheet. So classic James Johnson game right there. Javon Carter played 4 minutes, didn't do anything. And Nick Claxton, huge energizer for them off the bench. In 16 minutes, he was 2 for 2 from the field, had 4 points and 4 rebounds, but no blocks and no steals. That's one thing that Claxton, we thought he was gonna be a huge rim protector, and he really wasn't forced at the rim this game. It felt like Aldridge with his 3 blocks and 3 steals was crazy, unexpected in this game. But Claxton still definitely showed his impact with his energy and his ability to contest shots at the rim, especially in the fourth quarter. He actually closed the game out instead of LaMarcus Aldridge. Now for the Hawks, we'll start with the low. Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot. Oh boy, TLC. Listen to this. 0 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. 0 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. He missed about 3 or 4 wide open layups, and all of his threes were wide open. I don't know. He played all right defense against Kevin Durant in the first quarter, but after that, it was KD just took over, and he got 1 steal in the first quarter within like the first opening minutes of the game out on KD when he posted him up, and I was like, hey, okay, TLC, we could have something here. I mean, maybe he can give Durant a tough time. Nah, TLC, gotta get him off the court, man. I really want to see DeLon Wright starting with Trae, DeLon, and Kevin Huerter until Bogey and DeAndre get back, but that's beside the point. So that was my spiel on TLC right there. And good part comes up. John Collins played great. 20 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 for 12 from the field, and 1 for 5 from 3. His 3-point shot has been eluding him a little bit the past couple games, with the exception of the Minnesota game. Everybody shot well from that game, so we can have that as an outlier. But John Collins overall has been great this season. He didn't get any blocks this game, which is not really that concerning. He's been great all year, defending, help side defense with blocking. So he still got the 2 steals, still provided the defensive stats. But an interesting stat here for the whole Hawks is that everybody was in the minus column and plus minus, which, you're not going to win a game when that happens. So there you go. Clint Capella, 14 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 16 rebounds, and an assist added, and 7 for 11 from the field. Clint Capella made his layups, got a few dunks, few alley-oops, and he rebounded great. 5 offensive rebounds, 11 defensive. So Clint Capella had a great game last night, and I know he's been getting a lot of slander, not making his layups. And while, yes, he's not the best finisher, he's still a huge impact on this team, defensively and as a lob threat. So great to see him have a good game. Kevin Huerter had a great game as well. 19 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 7 for 11 from the field. Only thing with Huerter and upcoming Trae Young, as I'll go over stat line after Huerter, is 4 turnovers. A lot of turnovers for Kevin for a secondary ball handler. We got to cut those down. Trae Young with 7 turnovers as well, but he did add 31 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. 5 offensive rebounds for Trae and 2 defensive rebounds. So that was an interesting stat right there. But 7 turnovers for Trae, man, and a lot of those were in the fourth quarter. I've been saying this for a long time now, since the beginning of last season. For some reason in the regular season, Trae turns the ball over a lot in the fourth quarter, and it definitely may be because he's tired. We don't really have a secondary playmaker. DeLon Wright's not been good this season so far on the offensive end. The defense, he's always going to be there, but offensively, he's been horrible. And Trae, it's all on him to execute the offense correctly. And in the pick and roll, when you've been doing that the entire game in the fourth quarter, defenses can adjust by that time, and our offense has really looked stagnant in now a lot of games. Now in the Pacers game, where we thank God came out with the win, the 76ers game where we lost, and now here we go with the Nets when the Hawks almost established a 10-point lead in the second half. We did establish a double-digit lead at one point, and then let it slip in the fourth because of our offense. Cam Reddish did not have a great game. 4 points, 2 assists. Not really worried about Reddish. You know, he has the potential, but like I said, his basketball IQ is not the best, and hopefully he'll be better. But I'm not going to expect this much of a stinker from Reddish. He's just getting back from a wrist injury, his first game. I'm sure he's on a minutes restriction. It looks like 17 minutes. He normally plays more than that, about mid-20s, low 20s. So I'm sure that's not the norm for Cam. Danilo Gallinari is playing great. He always has a slow start to the season in his career normally, but another game with double-digit points from him off the bench. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 for 10 from the field. So excellent game from him. Lou Williams provided a little bit off the bench, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 for 6 from the field. So not the greatest game from Lou, with only 13 minutes. And DeLon Wright with 12 minutes, 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 1 from the 3-point range. Had a turnover, an assist, and 3 rebounds, which, yeah, DeLon Wright, normally not going to be that bad, but he has been bad on the offensive end this season. Hopefully he'll turn it around and be more aggressive, because we know DeLon Wright can score. We saw it with the Pistons and we saw it with the Kings. He can score. So hopefully he'll be able to be more aggressive, but we know his defense will always be there. And Gorgie Zhang and Skylar Mays did not play, as well as Blake Griffin and David Duke Jr. for the Nets not playing. So, yeah, ultimately, Durant, the Nets, just our offense, they made our offense just go to trash late in the fourth quarter, and they were able to pull the win out against us. Next game for the Hawks is what is it? The next game for the Hawks is, oh god, my bad, I can't find it. Wait a second here. Next game for the Hawks is going to be on Monday against the Rockets. So hopefully that'll be a win. The Rockets have been playing well recently. Jalen Green probably won't be playing though. So, the Rockets can definitely pull us out. We got to figure out our offense in the fourth quarter and clamp down on defense, which we haven't been doing really. So, bad offense in the fourth quarter, not clamping down on defense, it's going to lead to some losses. Hawks got to get healthy, and we need to try and stay afloat until Bogey, DeAndre, and Onyeka come back. Onyeka's really close, so I'm excited to see him play in the upcoming games. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll be doing these recap videos after every Hawks game starting this forward. So I can't wait to be speaking with you guys. Go Hawks!